I know the law, Phil. I know the law too well. Then you ought to know that there ain't no way to beat the law. White folks live by it and niggas die by it.
If I was to see Moneybagg, yo, backstage, you know he big, you don't try to walk fast here and scary here. If I was to see him, I would literally approach his security and say, hey, I want a one-on-one with him. And when he don't let me get a one-on-one, I'm gonna tell my security, okay, tell these niggas that it's finna be an all-out bang out here backstage if they don't let me go in the locker room with this nigga. I wanna see if he federal. I wanna see if he gangster.
It's folks connect back in the building, and Finesse2Tymes on one. Finesse2Tymes speaking on if he run across Moneybagg Yo, he want the one-on-one, he want to lay hands on Moneybagg Yo. And I think this issue go back to the contract disputes Finesse2Tymes having, because he just made another post speaking about J. Prince Jr. where he's saying, man, just please let me out of the contract. Let me fly. Let me have my way. Let me get my money and get y'all hands out the pot pretty much. And that's what he got going on with Moneybagg Yo, because Finesse2Tymes brother even said it that Moneybagg Yo bread gang stuff still showing up on when Finesse2Tymes drop music. So Finesse2Tymes is understanding that he got out of the penitentiary and a lot of things he didn't know about the game, he's picking up on now. He's gaining more knowledge and he's gaining more information to where he see that it's people hands in the pot that's not promoting him, that's not helping him do anything to further his career. So Finesse2Tymes pretty much saying, get out the way. And when I see him saying this about Moneybagg Yo, I think back to when Big 30 had his issues with Moneybagg Yo, and he made a long post saying Moneybagg Yo wasn't giving him no shout outs or doing nothing. The only thing he did was gave him a watch or something like that. And I think Big 30 was signed over there with Moneybagg Yo for a minute. When we look at what's going on in the industry, and when we see our brothers, when we see our kinfolk, as our skin folk, as they say, I just see like we have to understand that a lot of people don't have compassion. See, we got a lot of people operating in this world that don't care what happened to the other party. People don't care about what happened to you. Only thing a person looking at is what they gonna gain and what's gonna go in their pocket. Only thing Moneybagg Yo or J. Prince Jr. looking at on the contract with Finesse2Tymes is whatever percentage come to them. They don't give a care about what's going on Finesse2Tymes side. All they looking at on Finesse2Tymes side is that he produced. And see, you gotta understand when you're in the seat that you looked at as whatever you need to produce, that's what you gotta do. But a lot of times in life, man, you get privy to information and it change the way you look at things. You know what I'm saying? Change the way you perceive things, and then it make you look at people in a different light. So what we gotta understand as human beings is that everything starts within. Everything starts with you. And if you get enough fame and you get enough notoriety, you got hundreds of thousands of followers or millions of followers and fans. You have to understand when these record labels and these companies come to you that you're the prize. But a lot of times people lose their fire that they once had burning for the simple fact they sign these contracts and then this stuff turn into a job because they can't naturally be them how they were before. Before they get into these contracts, they can produce based on solely what they're doing. They getting the attention based off their natural flow. And then when you look at these people getting signed to these deals, like think about when Finesse2Tymes sat down with J. Prince Jr. and he was talking, and J. Prince Jr. was really there like as a mediator, what Finesse2Tymes shouldn't say this and different things like that. See, you have to understand that that's a hard battle to fight when you can't naturally flow how you want to flow. You have to follow these guidelines. You have to follow these rules. And now when I see the situation with Moneybagg Yo and Finesse2Tymes saying that he gonna run up on the security, I get the anger point of view of it, but at the same time, you gotta think about you're gonna have everybody around you fighting. You're gonna have your security and the people that you love going in war. You're gonna have to look at that. It's gonna be casualties of war. And then you gotta understand that the war is documented now. It's gonna be easy to lead an investigation. If something happened to Moneybagg Yo, it's gonna be easy for them to first look at Finesse2Tymes and track every move you made surrounding this situation. So a lot of times we gotta look at, is it really worth it? Because whether Moneybagg Yo is tough or he'll fight or not, you better believe he gonna have some people around him that will. And I think whatever going on in them contracts, I don't think Finesse2Tymes sat down and signed a lifetime deal. So at this point, Finesse2Tymes should just go and actually read the contract blueprint by blueprint. Don't focus on how much money they getting or how you got screwed in the contract. Focus on what you can do to get out of the contract, as far as if it say I need to do 2-3 albums, complete that amount of albums, you out of the contract. Because 9 times out of 10, people that got you under certain contracts, they don't want to let you out because they're only looking at what they can make. They never did none of this caring about you. They did that because they knew you were profitable. And that meant what's going to trickle down to them. And that's the way life go. But I understand when you're looking at things from a personal aspect, when you're looking at things like if I was cool with this person, I wouldn't have done them like that. You can't expect the person on the other side to think like that because y'all two totally different individuals, and what motivates you ain't the same thing that motivates them. Some people are willing to step on any and everybody to accumulate a dollar. I just hope these guys can come to some type of resolution to where it won't break down to no violence. I don't want to see the people around these guys get hurt, because a lot of times when these beefs go down, entourage members get hit. If you look back when Big Meech and them had that issue and security guards, different people getting shot, people getting killed, and the main target is usually never even the target that get took out, man. So it's best to avoid violent situations, and it's best to be acknowledging what you signing. You know what I'm saying? And once you get to the level that you understand the game, realize you made a mistake. Everybody knows slippers goals. So from that point on, you gotta look towards the future. You can't look back, because looking back gonna hold you back. So you have to look forward. What can I do to get out of these obligations of these contracts? Okay, I gotta do X, Y, Z, and do it. Because by Finesse2Tymes making himself popular within the content part of the game, he don't really have to 100% rely on music. It's people getting $100,000 checks off of content creation, $1 million checks every month off content creation. So Finesse2Tymes got to understand what he got, man. Open his eyes up and do what it takes to get out them contracts. If these people don't budge and don't just do it the way you see, if they was real, they would do it. You got to look at it from the aspect of, all right, some people, this how they is. Now, I'm still gonna run it up. And now I know who not to deal with. I'm out.